At this point in time, I'd like to call this meeting of the Middlesex County Board of Chosen Freeholders to order. Please rise for a moment of silence. Dennis, salute the flag, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-10, has been complied with and shall be entered into the minutes of this meeting.
Roll call.
Freeholder Barapalante.
Present.
Freeholder Delina. Freeholder Polos.
Here.
Freeholder Rios. Freeholder Tamaro.
Here.
Freeholder Valenti.
Here.
Freeholder Director Rafano.
Here. Now it's time for commemorative resolutions.
Recognizing Anita Clavering as she was named an Outstanding Individual Volunteer at the United Way of Central Jersey Hometown Heroes Awards event. Recognizing David Pappy on his retirement from the Middlesex County Public Health Department. Recognizing Kyle Santos and Randall James Bolton as they have received their Eagle Scout status.
I need a motion to adopt the resolutions.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Barapalante, seconded by Freeholder Valente. Roll call.
Freeholder Barapalante.
Yes.
Freeholder Polos.
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro.
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rafano.
Yes. Okay, now it's time for presentations. I'm going to call on Freeholder Valente.
Oh, first? Okay. I think so that it doesn't confuse you tonight, that we'll maybe have Charlie make the motion.
Okay.
Anita, would you come forward, please? My fellow freeholders, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very special lady, Anita Clavering. She gives countless hours to many projects, and I can really say that you have to serve this more than a lot of people. So I want to present this to you. I know United Way of Central Jersey recognized you, and because of your volunteer efforts, and you have improved the lives of residents in our community.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Would you like to say
Thank
a few
you
words?
so much.
Let's hear it for Anita.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And on a couple of days before the eve of the anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act, I would like to thank it would take me a whole couple of hours, and I don't want to take up too much time. I would like to first of all thank gratefully and graciously thank Freeholder Valente, who does so much herself and also I gratefully thank the United Way of Central New Jersey for bestowing me with this honor. I just would like to say one thing about volunteering. It doesn't make you rich, but it sure keeps you young. It sure keeps me young. And the important part of the most important part of volunteering, of course, is the gratitude and the feeling that one gets when helping another person who is in need. And I have gratefully gratefully benefited and enriched myself as a citizen by being a citizen and helping all other people, all other people who need help. seniors, people with disabilities, anyone. So I gratefully thank everyone, and I especially would like to thank Judy Cusimano for recommending me for this wonderful honor, and I'm very proud of it, indeed. And most of all, I thank Eileen Quavering, who endlessly gives me support that she gives me the wonderful support and unconditional love that helps me to learn about and to be a productive citizen. So Irene, I gratefully and heartily thank you so very much. And I thank you so very much. Thank you so much.
Keep up the good work.
No, thank you so much.
Freeholder Barrett Belante. You gonna write this time?
You got it right this time. I know, we got the memo. All the pretty ladies are dressed alike. Thank you. At this time, I would like to recognize David Pappy, Director of the Middlesex County Public Health Department, who was retired after more than 40 years of service to the county. Dave began his career as an inspector trainee and rose through the ranks as a sanitary inspector, senior inspector, principal inspector, chief inspector, and deputy director until being named director. I guess it was in 2003. Under his guidance, the county became known as a leader in public health emergency preparedness and response. He has received national and state recognition for his emergency preparedness efforts, and many of the plans developed by the health department during his tenure have been used as models for the United States Post Office, the state of New Jersey, and other jurisdictions. On behalf of the Board of Chosen Freeholders, I would like to thank him for his hard work and dedication to his job and dedication to the residents of Middlesex County. I wish Dave and his wife Pamela and his daughters Rebecca and Christina the very best for the future. I'm sure he'll be very busy with his grandchildren, especially with 3 grandsons. And this I didn't know until just today. New triplet granddaughters on the way. That in itself, you should get another plaque, Dave. Why don't
Come on
you
up, Dave.
come up, Dave, please. Please.
40 years is a long time, over 40 years. I was looking around at the pictures tonight. I think the Freeholder director started in the early 1900s. Well, there's 18 pictures here. I worked for the county for 13 of them. So there's only 5 Freeholder directors I haven't worked for. So that's a long time. In fact, I actually came to work for the county in 1968. While I was in college, I worked here as a maintenance man. I used to move furniture and clean offices and put light bulbs in and clean the boilers. They used to push us inside the boilers, and we used to scrape them. So I worked for the county for a long time, and I really enjoyed my time with the county. And the reason that the department was so successful is I really have a good staff. The people that work for the health department are very, very dedicated people. The board should understand that, and sometimes I maybe didn't say it enough. Maybe should have said it more, but they really did the job. No matter what I asked them to do, they did. And they didn't say, is this in my title or should I do it? Unlike me, who would say that. But they just did the work, and they did what was asked of them, and they did a great job. And I think I'm very happy to have worked with them and served with them, and I wish them well. And also, I think you did a good job in having Kathy Antonitis as acting director, and I hope you consider her for director. She's doing a good job. She's been around for a long time, not as long as me, but she's been around, and I think that she'll serve the county well also. So on behalf of myself and Pam and my triplet granddaughters on the way. If any of you guys want to help out, just let me know. I want to thank the board very much for this, and I appreciate you considering me and doing this for me for my years of service with the county. So thank you very much.
Each freeholder has been provided with a list of correspondence received by the clerk's office since our last meeting. This correspondence will be kept on file in the office of the clerk of the board for reference.
I need a motion to accept the correspondence.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Valente, seconded by Freeholder Tamaro. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Ayes have it. Now we need to deviate from the regular order of business to introduce 3 ordinances. Clerk will read ordinance number 11-396 by title only.
A loan ordinance of the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, approving and authorizing the entering into, execution, and delivery of a loan and security agreement with the Middlesex County Improvement Authority for the undertaking of various 2011 capital improvements and the acquisition and installation, as applicable, of various equipment with an estimated cost of $7,863,179. The cost of such improvements and equipment to be financed through the issuance of county-guaranteed capital equipment and improvement revenue bonds, Series 2011 of the Middlesex County Improvement Authority, and authorizing a public hearing to be held Thursday, August 18th, 2011 at 7 p.m., and authorizing publication thereof.
I need a motion to adopt ordinance number 11-396 on first reading.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Valente, seconded by Freeholder Tamaro. Roll call.
Freeholder Barrett-Valente.
Yes.
Freeholder Polos.
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro.
Yes.
Freeholder Valente.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Afano.
Yes. Clerk will now read ordinance number 11-001 by title only.
An ordinance authorizing the guarantee by the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, of the payment of principal of and interest on county-guaranteed capital equipment and improvement revenue bonds, Series 2011, issued by the Middlesex County Improvement Authority in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $11 million, and authorizing a public hearing to be held Thursday, August 18th, 2011, at 7 p.m., and authorizing publication thereof.
I need a motion to adopt ordinance number 11-001 on first reading.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Valente, seconded by Freeholder Tamaro. Roll call.
Freeholder Barrett-Valente.
Yes.
Freeholder Polos.
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro.
Yes.
Freeholder Valente.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Afano.
Yes. Clerk will now read ordinance number 11-002 by title only.
An ordinance of the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, approving and authorizing the entering into, execution, and delivery of a lease and agreement with the County of Middlesex, with the Middlesex County Improvement Authority for the purchase of vehicles with an estimated cost of $1,006,878. The cost of such vehicles to be financed through the issuance of county-guaranteed capital equipment and improvement revenue bonds, Series 2011, of the Middlesex County Improvement Authority, and authorizing a public hearing to be held Thursday, August 18th, 2011, at 7 p.m., and authorizing publication thereof.
I need a motion to adopt ordinance number 11-002 on first reading.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Valente, seconded by Freeholder Tamaro. Roll call.
Freeholder Barrett-Valente.
Yes.
Freeholder Polos.
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro.
Yes.
Freeholder Valente.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Afano.
Yes. Need a motion to resume the regular order of business.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Tamaro, seconded by Freeholder Valente. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Ayes have it. Reports of freeholders. Freeholder Carol Barrett Belante.
You're getting good tonight.
Okay, good. I got that right.
You got it right. Thank you, Director. In the Health Department, the skin cancer screenings were held for county residents. The Health Department and the Middlesex County Cancer Coalition participated in Choose Your Cover statewide skin screening, and that was on June 25th. The screenings were held in East Brunswick and in Perth Amboy, and more than 350 people were educated on skin cancer, and 120 people were screened. We certainly want to thank our partners in this event, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Param Healthcare, who donated skin tan lotions, creams, and bottled waters for the participants. Over at the VOTEC, we had, over at the Allied Health and Biomedical Sciences, Junior Christian Patel was accepted into the Healthcare Connections Program at Raritan Bay Medical Center. It's a 4-day program, exposes participants to a variety of health care professions. He was one of 10 students from 3 county areas and 36 high schools selected to participate. So we want to thank him and give him kudos for that. Over at the Academy for Science, Mathematics, Engineering Technologies, Junior Kimberly Lamb will spend 6 weeks this summer participating in scholarship research at Rutgers University under the supervision of Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering Professor Dr. Barrow. At the East Brunswick campus on June 9th and 10th, the School of Performing Arts Theater hosted their annual Freshman Showcase. The Freshman Showcase is a special show where the freshmen perform on center stage. The night was a huge success with acts ranging from monologues to short films. Over at the Environmental Center Health Department, in May, the Environmental Health Division initiated a series of pesticide inspections of landscaping contractors. That was for them to comply with the New Jersey DEP pesticide regulations. These inspections are conducted at the customer job sites. The inspector checks that the landscaping company has the required insecticide license issued by the state of New Jersey, and that each employee who is applying the pesticide possesses the correct license. These regulations require that the pesticides be stored correctly in labeled containers that are properly sealed and secured to prevent spillage. Additionally, the landscaper must have equipment on hand to adequately deal with the spills should they occur. All 75 landscape companies were inspected, 39 of which were found to be handling pesticides. 29 of these were found not to be in compliance. and this was forwarded to the New Jersey DOP, Bureau of Pesticide Compliance, and they will follow up with these companies. I want to deviate from the normal. As you all know, it's been very hot this past week, and it's going to be even hotter next week. And I would ask all of the residents to check on their senior friends, neighbors, relatives. It only takes a minute to make sure that they're all right, that they have water, air conditioners working, fan, and if not, then to contact someone so that they can go to a shelter. Each town does have a shelter. They have it, whether it's in the senior center or the library, but each town must have this shelter. I believe on our website there is a number, but anyone who sees that a senior is in distress, or any person for that matter, not just a senior, to call the local town and ask for assistance. I think, it certainly happens with anyone, but seniors really sometimes it strikes them more. They don't want to ask for help, and it's in this heat, when to get dehydrated happens so quickly that you don't even realize that you're dehydrated, that you could get dizzy. So again, each and every one of us, if we just would check on our friends, neighbors, and relatives to make sure that everybody's all right until the rain comes, which I'm not sure that's going to be for a while. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Freeholder.
That's my report.
Thank you. Freeholder H. James Polos.
Thank you very much, Director. Just want to update you on our comprehensive traffic safety program. We've been making great progress in the development of our website in partnership with KMM. Again, this will be a very unique website that will provide a page for traffic information for each of our communities, as well as what the county is providing. It'll also create one-stop shopping for any resident or any visitor to our county driving down the road who recognizes any type of a traffic safety problem, a pothole, a road problem that they may identify. They'll be able to go to one specific website, be able to access either a county system or also the municipal systems for notification, and it's something that we'll be able to promote countywide. I'm sure everyone can understand that sometimes residents find it difficult to try to traverse the municipal or governmental processes for registering a complaint. This will make it very simple and facilitate communication so that we can respond in a quicker fashion, both as a county and certainly from the municipal level, to any type of traffic safety concern, anything from a traffic light out, again, to a pothole. Our school training and response team continues to move forward. We are in the process of developing a new curriculum, which has just been approved by the State Department of Homeland Security. We hope to implement it in late September. This will be a combination of school training and response procedures that we're actually developing in-house for the first time, along with incident command training. And again, it'll be a unique program that hopefully, if successful in September, with the end of September with our first training, may become a statewide training model. Our solar PPA initiative with our outreach to the communities has become very, very successful. I believe we have more than 15 communities and schools who have expressed interest in participating. Jeff Mayerowitz, our green guy as we call him affectionately in the county, has been forwarding the information to our engineer, Dave Samuels at CME. What has been, I think, very interesting is that the communities, both schools as well as school districts, are very excited about the opportunity to go green, to develop solar projects within their communities or school districts, to reduce their carbon footprint, reduce the cost of energy to their communities or districts, which obviously translate to either tax savings or more money to be able to put into programs in the communities and books and education within our school districts. There's been a great camaraderie in many instances between districts and municipalities working together, trying to identify locations within their communities. So I think that this process of reaching out has been very successful on really very many levels. I had a meeting last week with the mayors of East Windsor and West Windsor, and a very successful meeting to talk about transportation. Something that we actually created an opportunity for because of a nexus between Middlesex County transportation opportunities and Mercer County opportunities that actually was created as a result of the development of the new Princeton Hospital. Many of you are aware that there's a very large medical facility that's been built in Plainsboro. It's the Princeton Hospital. There are many elements to that campus, and we are providing service that not only connects that facility to other connections within the county and other transportation opportunities, but also goes to the train station in Mercer County. It's the first time one of our county shuttles actually crosses a border to provide regular service. Seeing the success of that, we thought it was an ideal opportunity to talk to the mayors who are closest to those two transportation hubs, if you will, to see if there are other opportunities. I think what came from the meeting is a willingness on their part to talk to their county, to see what type of funds may be able to be made available, to expand routes, create new opportunities for transportation to better connect Mercer and Middlesex County. I think that that's the right thing to do, both for economic development, for job training, job opportunities, certainly for health opportunities. And, you know, I think we all believe that we can't just think of our county ending at the borders when it comes to transportation. We need to really look beyond those borders to see how we can interconnect to make a seamless network of transportation, and this will certainly be a step towards that. Also, last week I had a meeting with Commissioner Simpson of the Department of Transportation and 4 of his high-level staff members, his Chief of Operations, who was newly appointed a few weeks ago, his Chief Counsel, and 2 Deputy Commissioners. It was an extremely productive meeting. The purpose of the meeting was to meet with him to talk about how Middlesex County could more closely work with the State Department of Transportation when it comes to highway maintenance, bridge maintenance, landscaping maintenance along our roadways, snow removal, pothole repair, etc. I made the argument that there are many situations within our county where county roads traverse state right-of-ways, and we have gaps, if you will, between what the county maintains and what the state maintains. The argument was made that there may be more efficiencies to have the county do the road maintenance on a continuum basis through some of these road areas rather than having to send state personnel out to do small sections of road that actually fall on county right-of-ways. There was general agreement that it seems to make sense, at least in concept. I'm not overly optimistic that these types of initiatives will move forward quickly, but what I can tell you is that the Commissioner was not only extremely responsive when the first call was made, but I think pulling together that team of people to sit down and talk about the possibilities, to me, showed me that he was very committed to at least exploring those types of shared service cooperative ventures. 2 other areas that we talked about was just improving communication. I expressed to him that we've been somewhat confounded in the county, that we've never met with the state on a regular basis. And I think what came of that is a directive from him to his staff to set up regular meetings with county road people throughout the state so that there can be a communication link. I kind of used the example of recent snowstorms that we had last year and emergencies where, you know, the state would be working on their roads, we're working on ours. There could be some sharing of equipment, salt, etc. But we actually don't even have contact people to talk to during those emergencies. So he concurred that there's really a better communication link that needs to be developed. He seems very committed to do that. His Chief of Staff will be out here within 2 weeks, and he is scheduling a visitation to Middlesex County sometime in August. We also talked about the sharing of not only equipment, but facilities as well, since the state has several garages in the county, along with the county having several area garages to work together. So a very productive meeting. Last but not least, I just want to take a minute to really express appreciation to the director, to Tom Kelso, to Carol Barrett for their stewardship on the initiative which many of us participated in the other day, I should say, which was the groundbreaking ceremony for a new project in New Brunswick. And I won't steal too much of Chris's thunder and both Chris Rafano's thunder on the announcement of this project and what it means. But, Director, with your permission, just to take a minute to thank you all for your stewardship. It was great to be a part of such an initiative in downtown New Brunswick. I don't know how many on the dais are New Brunswick boys, but I was born and raised in New Brunswick on George Street between Remsen and Hazard. Lived here many, many years when New Brunswick was certainly much less when it came to economic development than it is today. And I remember when J&J first decided to do their headquarters, I remember the story that I think it was I.M. Pei was the architect who was taken up in a helicopter, flew around New Brunswick, and I think it was on a piece of paper on the back of something, sketched out 3 circles and said that's where the hotel should be and that's where the headquarters should be. And from that, my understanding was, now that may be anecdotal, but my understanding was that's pretty much how the downtown development began. Some of us saw that go up, and it was certainly exciting to see that first project. If you look out the window today here and throughout the city, you see nothing but success, and that comes as a result of partnerships between the county, DevCo, the City of New Brunswick, Mayor Cahill, his predecessor, Mayor Lynch, Senator Lynch, and a lot has been done in this city, and a lot's been done because of great people working very hard, but also because of partnerships. And I think that the county, in their stewardship, not only in this initiative, but others, have made some of these projects realistic, viable, economically feasible to do, and great successes. They create jobs, they create new opportunities, they create development, they create a much better city. And when we improve our inner cities, we improve our county. When we improve our inner cities, we improve our tax base. We reduce the burden on residents throughout the city as well as throughout the county. So it's a good thing all the way around, and something we should be very proud of. But certainly without the leadership of all of you, it wouldn't have occurred. So my compliments to you and to Chris Palladino, to DevCo, and everybody else who's been involved with this, as well as other successful projects. Thank you.
Freeholder. Freeholder Charlie Tamaro.
Thank you, sir. First, I know David Pappy left, but I want to congratulate him and wish him well on his retirement. I've known David Pappy and the Pappy family for many years. Matter of fact, I went to school with his brother Mark. And David definitely, put our health department as one of the best health departments in the state of New Jersey, and it's because of him and his employees that have accomplished that. I want to wish him well in his retirement, and I think on the triplets' third birthday, he'll want to come back to work. There was no planning board last month, so I have nothing to report on as far as the planning board is concerned. But I do have something to speak about this evening, and it's about the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, which will impact not only Middlesex County, but probably the whole country. And Chairman John Mecca of the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee recently announced his intention to introduce multi-year surface transportation bill that eliminates all dedicated funding for bicycling and pedestrian programs, including transportation enhancement programs, the Safe Routes to Schools program, and the Recreational Trail program. These programs have been very popular in Middlesex County and other parts of the state and country by providing low-cost, efficient, environmentally friendly transportation options for all people, young and old, drivers and non-drivers alike. These programs have also helped to provide and maintain the much-needed jobs and local economic development that are in short supply in the current economic times. In addition, some members of the House of Representatives also proposed to cut federal spending on highways and transit by 30%. This reduction in transportation spending would further cut jobs, hurt the stimulus effort, and severely impact the nation's infrastructure, much of which is in dire need of repair. Some argue that in the long term, the cost to borrow money will reinforce the aging bridge, or to let the bridge continue to get older and weaken until it needs to be replaced completely because of its collapse or immediate danger of collapsing. The new federal highway program will focus primarily on the interstate highway system and on roads that include the national highway system, and most important for the nation's economy, defense, and freight mobility. The surface transportation program that includes many of the secondary roads is proposed to have about 70 of its programs eliminated because they are considered duplicative or not federal interest. Major impacts of public transportation, including train bus riders, are also expected. Amtrak's operating subsidy is proposed to be cut by 25% in the fiscal year 2012 and 2013. I know this county especially has taken a lead in our bike routes and trails. Right now we're working on a trail between Perth Amboy, Woodbridge, Edison, and through Metuchen, and we're working on extending it through South Plainfield. It's a 4-mile long rail-to-trail that once completed will give recreational opportunities to people in that area. It's not even completed, and the residents in those areas are already walking on it, walking their dogs, riding their bikes, and really enjoying what is being done there. It will really be sad if the federal government cuts all these subsidies and allow this to happen. Thank you, Director. And I also like to sponsor a resolution next freeholder meeting, requesting that our legislators not cut this funding.
Thank you, Freeholder. Real
Thank
quick,
you.
Freeholder Polis, you said you had something.
Director, I should have said as part of my report, as we finish business tonight, my 3 young daughters are dressing right now for their dance recital, which begins at 8 p.m., so I beg your
goodbye.
indulgence to be excused early.
You're excused.
And thank you very much.
Enjoy. Freeholder Blanquita Valente.
Thank you, Freeholder Director. The Middlesex County Homeless Trust Fund has received, I believe it's 9 proposals to be funded, and of course they exceed the amount of money that we have, but they're very fine ones, and we will be considering these within the next month within our department. I just wanted to make that announcement. Also, August food drive that will benefit McFoods, which is the Middlesex County Emergency Food Distribution Network that serves over 80 local food pantries and soup kitchens. Hunger doesn't take a vacation, and during the summer months, the need for emergency food often increases. Currently, our warehouse is running low on many items, and the level of need is at an all-time high. We're having great difficulty meeting the increased needs of those we serve. And I'm appealing not only to the county employees, but the public at large. Please help us replenish the supply of food at the county distribution site and guarantee that all Middlesex County residents in need have access to nutritious foods and necessities. And it's quite a long list, which I'm not going to read right now. And we have these green containers located throughout this building. If you have any canned goods, baby shampoo, toothpaste, etc., we would appreciate if you can drop them off and through August 31st. And also, if you're interested in making a monetary donation, we accept all checks payable to McFoods and forwarded to Jennifer Apostle at the MCIA, 101 Interchange Plaza, Cranberry, New Jersey, 08512. We can no longer accept grocery store gift cards, but we will appreciate checks. And thank you for your support and generosity. Also, I want to bring up to date the Department of Community Services, which has begun moving forward with the restructuring that was approved on July 1st. Staff who have been working with the disabled population will be transitioning next week from the Office of Human Services to the newly designated Office of Aging and Disabled Services. In September, the office will become the state-designated county agency responsible for the ADRC, that means Aging and Disabled Resource Connection. This is a federally recognized statewide system that enables aging and disabled individuals to obtain information on resources and services, as well as get connected within the system. This consolidation creates better efficiencies through cross-training of staff, better planning of services, and also enables the county to save funding for salaries and fringes as the staff are transitioned to grants. The savings realized will be almost $100,000, which is really a considerable amount of money that we will be saving. And that is the end of my report.
Thank you, Freeholder. Before I call upon Chris Palladino to give us the status of the Wellness Center, I want to give a brief report. Deputy Director Ron Rios is on vacation. He sent me some information that he would like me to report on some of the activities that are going on in the area of law and public safety. First of all, Freeholder Rios has been working with the county prosecutor, Bruce Kaplan, who's making $135,000 available to our 25 municipal police departments, the Rutgers University Police Department, and the Middlesex County Sheriff's Office to assist them in creating programs aimed at improving the quality of life in our towns by combating such crimes as bullying, bias, intimidation, and vandalism. Each police agency can receive a $5,000 grant to develop crime-fighting initiatives. The police departments have until August 5th to apply for the funding. These funds will cost nothing since the money is being made available from confiscated funds. Secondly, Prosecutor Kaplan also set up a bio-training class in which 21 law enforcement officers from around the state will participate in an intensive week-long program in which they will learn the latest techniques in collecting evidence from a crime scene in the event of that hazardous materials are intentionally released into the environment. There's no cost at all, since the funding is from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. And lastly, from Freeholder Rios, I want to mention that Freeholder Rios is working with Prosecutor Kaplan and Tony Caputo to promote and market the Crime Stoppers program. He has notified mayors and municipalities on this new and exciting program. I have one quick announcement from the Committee of Finance and Administration. A little while ago, we announced that we were going to go out for bids on our solar project at Apple Orchard Road, which is where we have our adult corrections, youth detention center, archives, our garage. And I got a call today. We got the bids back. 4.5 cents per kilowatt, which is great. That's what it's going to cost us for electricity over there. So it's going to be significant savings for the taxpayers, and it's good news for the taxpayers of Middlesex County. All right, Chris, you're on. Chris Palladino from DevCo. President of DevCo.
Thank you, Freeholder Director.
And friend.
And friend. Yesterday, Freeholder Polos and Freeholder Director Rafano braved the 98-degree temperature. Freeholder Brady was there. And helped us break ground on Wellness Plaza. Most of you probably remember in past presentations, Wellness Plaza is 500,000 square feet that will be built in New Brunswick. It will include a 60,000 square foot full service grocery store, a 60,000 square foot fitness and wellness center that is sponsored by Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital. It will have 3 swimming pools, 25-yard, 6-lane swimming pool, a therapy pool, 2 therapy pools for physical therapy and water exercise. It will have a 1,200-car parking garage, and it will be connected directly to the Northeast Corridor and the New Brunswick train station by a bridge. We will have, when that project is completed, the only transit village in New Jersey where we'll have 2 projects totaling about 1.2 million square feet with direct access to a train station. I asked for the opportunity to come today, not because, as I walked in, I must have had Freeholder Polos, Mr. Stewart, and 3 other people said, "Are you here to ask for money for something?" I feel bad that I've seen that I always have my hand out when I'm coming. But, you know, doing something that we're, quite honestly, often remiss in doing. I really wanted to come and thank the Freeholders for your help, your leadership, and your support on this project. It's probably something we don't do enough of, and I really wanted to take this opportunity and maybe turn a new leaf and make sure that you appreciate all of the help that we appreciate all of the help that you do. But for your support, we wouldn't be the support that you gave us. You know, the grant for the pool, really important. The access to the President's stimulus program, the bond allocation that you approved probably 6 months ago. We would not have had that groundbreaking yesterday. But for your support, we would not be creating the hundreds of union jobs that are going on out there. I had a construction worker come up to me yesterday, somebody who I didn't know. It was 98 degrees. You know, he was a laborer, actually. You know, he was probably my age. You could tell the economy's bad when the guys who are out there working in the 100-degree weather are my age. And he said, "You know, I hear you're in charge here. I just want to thank you. So I'm going to be working for the next year and feeding my family because of this project." Without your support, we wouldn't be creating hundreds of new permanent jobs. You know, we had a chance, Freeholder Brady kind of grabbed me before the meeting and said, because she's going to be heading up, be our liaison and doing job training for the permanent jobs, and that we got to get down to Philadelphia and see the grocery store operation and see how they're training people. And the county is really taking the lead, much like they did with the Heldridge Hotel, in making sure that New Brunswick and county residents get the first shot, but most importantly that they're prepared to get the first shot at those jobs. And it worked at the Heldridge, and we know it's going to work here. You know, it's going to be great. How many people who live within 4, 5, 6 blocks of this building are going to be able to walk to work? You know, I've said this a number of times. I know that's good public policy. That's really good business also. Because when it snows, people walk to work. You know, for people to be able to walk to work and spend more time with their children and not have to, you know, take someone to daycare and then get on a bus and go out and work someplace else, it's important. So this is the kind of thing that really does help people. If it wasn't for your support, we wouldn't have the Learn to Swim program that eventually every New Brunswick student, everybody in our kids in our school district will learn to swim. You know, those of us who grew up in the suburbs, and me and Mr. Canalupa, who grew up in North Brunswick High School where we had a swimming pool, we kind of take some of that for granted. But in places like New Brunswick, kids don't get to learn to swim. And sometimes then bad things happen. And you know, we're going to really do our part, kind of with your support, with that grant that you gave us for that pool, to at no cost, be able to teach all these kids to swim. Without your help, there wouldn't be a free, comprehensive health education program that's available to all county residents every night, every weekend, where we'll have physicians and other medical staff from the medical school and the hospital providing open houses on, you know, how to control your diabetes, how to care for an elderly parent or a spouse, parenting classes, healthy cooking classes, doing in partnership with the food store. Without your support, we would not have been able to build the first full-service grocery store. And Freeholder Valenti, you probably know better than I, because I can't remember when the last one was built, but decades. You know, New Brunswick is a food desert. People don't have access to fresh food, fresh produce. You know, we got to kind of go to the bodega, you got to go to these places, and people don't end up eating right. When you bring somebody into town like the fresh grocer who's used to dealing in an urban market and is able to make it a place that everyone is comfortable in, everybody feels welcome. We're really not just building a new great-looking store. We're not building just a great place for people to go to work, but we're really helping make people healthier. If it had not been for the Freeholder Board, we would not have been able to put together the economics to be able to bring the fresh grocer here, to get the hospital to do what they're doing. You really, really, really helped us. You know, yesterday I said that New Brunswick is a special place because we understand partnerships. Freeholder Polis talked about that. The director spoke about it yesterday. We're all in this together, and it really is an example of when good people, Freeholder Board, the mayor, the council, the president of the hospital, you know, Amy Mansover, Children's Specialized Hospital, kind of decide to put their heads together and are committed to doing something important. It's not just a great building, but it's something that truly kind of transforms lives. And we really think that the Fitness and Wellness Center will do this. This is a really difficult time in our country's history. But interestingly enough, in New Brunswick, it's probably an unprecedented time of economic growth in New Brunswick's history. Over the next 12 months, we will have broken ground, opened and topped off 1.1 million square feet. It's $250 million in investment. It's hundreds of jobs. We're not only surviving in this economy, we're thriving. And if it wasn't for you and your help, you really kicked this thing off. Sometime, you know, the first people in, the first money, the first commitment. And, you know, I said this yesterday. I'll never forget the first time I called Freeholder Director Rafano on this issue. Because I called John Polomini and he said, call Chris. And Tom said, I probably knew I wanted something. Chris said, how can I help you? And that's the approach that I know this Freeholder Board takes with all of its Middlesex County communities. And we really are appreciative. I just wanted to come and thank you.
Thank you, Chris. I want to say this too, Chris. You know, so many great projects have happened here, not just the Wellness Center, but happened here in the city of New Brunswick because of your vision and the hard work of DEFCO. So we thank you for your commitment to the city of New Brunswick and to Middlesex County. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Kelso. Any resolutions to be amended?
There are no resolutions to be amended. I would just point out that the personnel report has an amended sheet 14 due to several last-minute changes, but the resolution itself need not be voted for amendment.
Resolutions to be added.
We have one resolution to be added. This resolution would be to reject the sole bid of Searchy Fingerprint Laboratories for the furnishing and delivering of 2 prisoner transport vans required by the Middlesex County Department of Transportation, and to authorize the purchasing department to re-advertise bid number B11196. Just so you know, the reason for the rejection is the failure to provide an unconditional surety, which is by law requires rejection.
Okay, I need a motion to add that.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Tamaro, seconded by Freeholder Valente. Roll call.
Freeholder Barrett Valente.
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro.
Yes.
Freeholder Valente.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rafano.
Yes.
And that will be Resolution 11-1284.
Any resolutions to be held?
There are none.
Resolutions to be voided?
There are none.
At this point in time, I'd like to open up to the public on any agenda items. Anyone from the public to comment on any agenda items? Mr. Stewart.
Richard Stewart, 90 Nielsen Street, New Brunswick. The only thing that I wanted to mention, I'm looking at the monthly personnel report, and I questioned before where you were suggesting that this reorganization of the county structure was going to result in savings. I'm seeing on the personnel report that some of the people going into the newly created positions are getting raises. And then, of course, the people that are taking their place in the old jobs are getting raises. So I'm going to be watching. I want to see where the savings, because it looked to me then.
Actually, our salary and wage budget in 2011 is $1.5 million less than it was in 2010.
Now, how is that being accomplished?
We have 100 less positions now in county government.
Okay, you're cutting down on positions.
Yes, by attrition.
Yeah. And you feel that you'll be able to get the same performance
Yes.
out of it?
Yes.
I'll be watching.
Okay. Anyone else from the public?
Motion to close the public portion?
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Tamara, seconded by Freeholder Valente. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Any freeholder have any resolution that they wish to have removed from the consent agenda?
I do, Director.
Sure.
111170, and I would also like to pull 1128.
Director, I have 1130.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, Mr. Kelso?
Yes, Director, a motion would then be in order to adopt the consent agenda consisting of resolutions numbers 11-1127 through 11-1284, excluding resolutions 1170 and 1128 and 1130.
Need a motion?
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Valente, seconded by Freeholder Tamara. Roll call.
Freeholder Barrett Valente.
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro.
Yes.
Freeholder Valente.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rafano.
Yes.
Now, Director, it would be appropriate to consider the 2 resolutions excluded by Freeholder Barrett Valente, and they would be resolutions 11-1170 and 11-1128.
Need a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Valente, seconded by Freeholder Tamara. Roll call.
Freeholder Barrett Valente.
Yes.
President not voting.
Oh, no, on 28, I want to speak. So
okay.
if you could do it separately,
Well, let's vote 1170 then.
1170.
Okay, 1170.
And 1170 present, not voting.
Okay.
Freeholder Tamaro.
Yes.
Freeholder Valente.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rafano.
Yes.
Then, Director, would be appropriate to consider Resolution 11-1128, also excluded by Freeholder Barrett Valente.
I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Valente, seconded by Freeholder Tamara. Any comments?
Yes, thank you, Director. I know the sponsor was Ronnie Rios, and he's not here, and I know if he were here, he would speak on this. This is to urge Congress to enact Pancreatic Cancer Research and Education Act as soon as possible. And I know that this is very near and dear to Ronnie, and unfortunately lost his mother to this devastating cancer. Myself, a very dear friend, is suffering with this, and it's something very important that there needs to be more research and certainly education on this cancer. Just before the meeting, our acting director of health did tell me that on September 24th, right, there will be the annual pancreatic cancer walk, and I'm sure Freeholder Rios will be giving us more information, but I felt that I needed to speak on this separately for Freeholder Rios.
Thank you. Roll call?
Freeholder Barrett-Valente,
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro,
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti,
Yes.
Freeholder Director Afano.
Yes.
And now, Director, finally, we should consider Resolution 11-1130 excluded by Freeholder Tamaro.
Need a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Valente, seconded by Freeholder Barrett-Valente. Roll call?
Freeholder Barrett-Valente,
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro,
Present but not voting?
Freeholder Valenti,
Yes.
Freeholder Director Afano.
Yes.
That's it.
Okay. At this time, I would like to open the floor to the public on any item. Any item? Anybody from the public? Mr. Stewart?
I'm sorry that Mr. Polis, I understand why he left, but he was talking about transportation, possibly expanding the county transportation system. I would like to mention again, as I have repeatedly in the past, I would like to see the transportation extended into the correction center so that families can come and go without having to walk a long way. It's a long walk even in nice weather. It certainly hasn't helped it if we have this heat and people have to walk from the from Route 130 into the correction center. None of you were here when this was where we are right now, was the county jail. And someone mentioned to me a week ago, I'd forgotten all about it, but they were saying that people used to be able to stand out here on the sidewalk and yell up to prisoners.
That's true.
And I remember them doing that. Yeah. But my argument at the time was twofold about putting the jail out there. One was the fact that it wasn't going to be convenient for visiting, but also it was not going to be convenient for the lawyers. And therefore I felt that it was going to interfere with the representation by the lawyers, because a lawyer, I have no problem at all understanding a lawyer's time is money. That's his stock. And to have to drive out there, when many of them, of course, have offices right around here, but to have to drive out to the correction center, we have solved some portion, not really, well, it's helpful to the lawyers, but we've eliminated with the using the TV, with the arraignments, so that we haven't had to bring prisoners in from the correction center and then take them back and of course hold them here. And the conditions in the old days were unbelievable, where they were, when the lawyers had to interview clients in a big bullpen down here, which was there was no privacy. You had just to show you how crass the arrangements were, and the bar didn't seem to find any problem with this. You had a big area with men in there. You had urinals which were open for everybody to see, including the women lawyers who were there interviewing their clients before they went into court. It was about as primitive as you could have. Where they are now, and with this new arraignment situation, it's fine, but I don't know how much lawyers are getting out there to talk to their clients before they come into trial, particularly the pro bono cases. I'm curious about it. But anyway, coming back to the bus, for the parents, the families, the children of prisoners are not supposed to be punished for the crimes that the offenders or alleged offenders may have, whatever their offenses were. The children are not supposed to be punished for that. And the wives, for that matter, are not supposed to be punished for that.
I'll pass that along to Freeholder Polis.
Yes, they need to, but each year they say, well, there isn't money for it. So before you start expanding the bus service out of the, further out, I think that this is a matter that should be taken. And you've got the youth center out there. We're fortunate, thank God, that they're both right adjacent so that they can, the bus service could serve both of them. Okay. There was something else that I wanted, but it's not coming back to me at this time. I was happy. I didn't even know about the ceremony yesterday, I believe Chris said. But I'm glad that they are moving right along on that. I'll tell you, I'm going to be watching. I've as Chris indicated, I've been looking over his shoulder ever since he got that job.
Thank you, Mr. Stewart.
But I'm waiting. I can't wait to see how the grocery works out.
Anyone else from the public? Sir?
I'm Avi Devani, 44 South Shore Drive, South Amboy. I was wondering if the freeholders were familiar with the Digital Counties Survey. This is an annual survey of counties in the United States that's done by the National Association of Counties and the Center for Digital Government. And it's the purpose of it is to recognize those U.S. counties that provide resourceful and innovative and collaborative digital services to their constituents. If Middlesex County doesn't participate, I would urge very much that you encourage the technology department to do so in the future. I'm sure there are plenty of technology activities and accomplishments that merit some consideration so that the county can be recognized amongst every year. 10 counties nationally are recognized, and for the past 9 years, 90, although some of them have been repeat winners, there were 90 opportunities to be recognized, and being that Middlesex is the greatest county in the land, I would think that Middlesex should be, on there. I always believed this is important not just for the county and the stature of the county, but also for the technology employees and the employees that use the technology. I always believed that, in these tough times when you can't give an innovative and creative employee a financial increase, give them an award. And this is a perfect opportunity to do so. So I would urge you to consider submitting something for next year's survey.
Get me the information. I'd be happy to pass it on
Thank
to
you.
our IT department.
Happy to.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else from the public?
Motion to close the public portion?
Motion by Freeholder Tamara. Second by Freeholder Valente. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second?
Motion by Freeholder Valente, second by Freeholder Tamara. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Meeting adjourned.